hate puppies.
Good podcast.
I feel threatened.
It's going to be a long night anyway.
You ready for that one shining moment?
Dude, more than ever. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Inside the Pallet House. Hope your week has treated you well. You've recovered from the weekend that was, and you're now gearing up for a fresh weekend. We're here, like always, to solve first world problems.
We are.
So, Easter weekend, are you guys peeps? Are you
No,
into peeps or
dude.
not? No peeps.
No one wants a Peeps.
No one likes Peeps.
Not even the people who make Peeps.
Yeah.
They just, I don't like them at all. I mean, they scare me.
Way to go out on a limb. You're really riling up the troops now. You don't like Peeps? What? Yeah, no one wants that shit.
I didn't feel like I saw as many little Christmas versions of Easter on Facebook this year. Usually, past 5 to 10 years, my
I got a
Facebook has been
bike.
flooded with, I got an Xbox, I got a bike, I got a new car for Easter. And I'm like, wait, what?
Well, it's a religious holiday, so you must give.
Yes.
Give tidings to your offspring.
Yes.
I didn't see one single invitation for any type of Easter egg hunt for any kids. Like,
Yeah,
that
that'll
usually
be-
happens, and it didn't happen.
We had one at the lake, but we didn't participate. More for littler kids.
Yeah, I would guess next year it'll come back. It'll come back big once all the parades come back. You know,
Yeah.
Once you get those Easter parades going on, then I think people feel it a little more. This year was just another sit around drinking colorful drinks.
Dude, I remember when I first moved here from Baton Rouge, and everybody said, oh, you got to go down to Monument Avenue for the Easter parade. So we were thinking just like it was down in Baton Rouge, there was a parade, like floats and a whole 9 yards.
No, it's just a bunch of people.
And we
walking.
went down there, we sat down, and after about 20 minutes, my mom asked somebody, where's the parade? And the guy's like, we are the parade. Just start walking.
Easter on Parade is what it's called. And yes, that's a stupid name because it confuses everyone.
Yeah.
Yep, that's how we roll.
And no one, they voted on that.
I don't think they did. I think a bunch of people just started hanging out.
No, dude, it's like a sanctioned event by the city.
That they don't do anything for?
Yeah, they block
Block
all
off the
4
streets.
blocks and have food vendors and all kinds of people selling stuff. Like it's called Easter on Parade.
I never noticed. I got one buddy. He lives on Monument Avenue.
Yeah.
We would just go to his house and sit there and watch all the people walk by with their dogs.
Yeah.
That's it.
I never knew that it was.
Well,
it
no,
was
there's
like
people selling art.
yeah.
There's other stuff, and I've enjoyed going in years past. But the fact that it's called Easter on Parade literally confuses anyone who hadn't been once or twice.
Yeah.
I'm obviously some of us who've been multiple
Yeah.
times are still confused. I had no idea it was a sanctioned event. I
You just thought everybody just walked out in the middle of the street?
quite literally, I thought everybody
Jeez,
just
dude.
knew to go there, and it was like a party. Those
And
people
all those
opened
cops
their-
that just were blocking the ends of one of the busiest streets in the city, you just thought happened to be there?
just because they knew that a
Oh,
bunch of
okay.
people would show up and be drinking and getting rowdy, and they thought, well, we should
No one
probably
gets
send cops
rowdy.
there. I've
Everybody's
seen
wearing
some-
freaking polos and pastels. What are you talking about?
Well, it didn't happen this year because there's no statues to see.
Yeah, that's
I don't
true.
think that's what anyone was going to see was the statues. I think it was just about drinking.
Yeah, but you also
Yeah.
probably wouldn't want to take your youngins down there and
Currently.
see all that.
I just think, you know why I think it was rowdy? Because I used to go down and Dax lived on.
Yeah.
I would be with Dax.
Yeah.
Oh.
And people don't know Dax. You would have to go all the way back. He's only been on one episode, and it was the
Really early on.
something Red Rona episode. The Red Rona episode. We actually did it in a Bailey's, a bar that
I
no
was gonna
longer
say, yeah.
exists. Because he's a bartender here in the Richmond area, which is he's now gone. But if you've ever been to a bar over the last 10 years and were given a bunch of free drinks, then you've met Dax.
Yeah.
That's kind of how he operated.
Easy.
No, I knew someone that lived on Monument, and we would just get hammered during the 10K and just holler for people, and because you end up knowing a bunch of runners, and I handed out beers to people. It was awesome.
You would hand out beers to runners?
Oh yeah, because
That's interesting.
we were
Yeah.
we were like mile 1 going down, but we were on the other side. We were on the side going east, so we were like mile 5 or no, it's an 8-mile race. So we were like 1 mile from the finish line. So like people would be like, "Fuck it, hand me a beer, man."
Yeah.
That's wow. Now you're running with a beer in your hand.
Yeah.
I can't. I mean, I can relate to wanting a beer. I can't relate to running a 10K. So,
Well, there's a big difference between the people that start up front and those that just kind of get dressed up and hang out in the back.
there's a big difference between those people and me in general. So,
I mean, most people just, not most, but a lot of those people just sign up and walk it anyway.
The best is when they give the one guy the 5K head start to beat the professionals.
The Kenyans.
Mr. Freeze.
Yeah, that's the
and then he doesn't.
You get so close. Nope.
Yeah, those dudes are quick.
Yeah, dude, that was that was 2015 with Dax, October. Truck stop speed and the Red Ronas. Bridgman's bartending legend Dax Gray stops by.
There it is.
Dax shed some lights on some recipes.
How many years ago was that?
October 20th, 2015.
Wow.
How long have we been doing
5.5 years
this?
ago.
Well,
that was year 1.
That's episode 10.
Oh. Look at us. Look at us doing remotes and hanging out.
Hold on. If we started in April, that should have been more than episode 10.
Well, this says...
Right? Because we were doing weekly episodes.
Yeah, but we didn't... We may not have... No, our first one we put out was in April that year, I believe.
Well, I know we banked like...
We did bank a handful.
3 or 4 to start.
There was a couple with Pat, and then Pat faded off faster than Ely on a Monday. And then it was like And then you came in, and
I was on episode like 2 or 3, and then I might have missed 1 or 2 in the
That's
beginning.
what I'm saying. Pat was 1 and 2.
Yeah.
In fact, even in the first episode, I didn't even turn Pat's mic on for the first 5 minutes. So, which I was learning things. Which is why I always tell people
one of your better episodes.
One of mine, yes.
Well, yeah, you kept Pat off.
Nailed it. It was like Bill Burr's Monday morning podcast. It was just me pontificating and stuff, and then in the background you just hear Pat quietly.
Yeah.
Good story, bro.
He just put out a whole bunch of new dates.
Pat,
he's torn again. Way to go, Pat, dude.
Good for Pat. I'm glad to hear that.
On him.
Good.
Yeah. He's the best.
Did
either of you guys go when Pat did stand-up comedy?
Oh, God, no.
I think I knew when he was doing that.
That must have been a long time ago, right?
It was glorious. They had an open mic down at the Funny Bone, and he was doing some Pat stuff out there.
I'd love to mock him, but that takes some huge huevos that I would never.
It did.
And
if you know Pat, it was a pretty good set because Pat was doing Pat awkward jokes.
Yeah.
You know, like he intentionally goes awkward. I think he's just kind of feeding into kind of his strengths where he's like, you know what, I'm going to do an awkward joke and I'm going to stare at you.
Yeah, like, hey, raise your hand if you think the Earth's round.
Yeah. Little things like that. Yeah. So I remember Pat was doing his set and he didn't know that when the light came on in the back.
Oh, come on, dude.
That they were gonna
wrap it up.
You had to wrap it up. You had about 30 seconds before they cut it. And he didn't know. He just saw the light going, and then it started
so much. They're flashing lights.
Yeah, and then it started flashing, and he's still going through his thing. And then the mic cut out, and the lights went off on the stage, and he was standing there in the dark.
Shut down.
And he was like, "Oh, okay. I guess that's my time." Like yelling it out to the crowd. And everyone's like,
"Yeah." Did you get any laughs
from our group?
Yeah,
I mean, he had a pretty good contingency in the back. You know.
Yeah.
Hooting and hollering, it's Pat. But yeah, when they shut him down, that was like the Sandman at the Apollo moment. It was heartbreaking.
You know, I almost forgot. You and I have performed on that stage.
With the podcast, yes. Yeah. Yes. With that was the Well Read episode.
With the Well Read crew, which for those new listeners, if they want to go back, that's still one of my all-time favorites.
Oh, it was, yeah, dude. That hit.
Yeah, that hit for
that
sure.
That hit. That's back when I was saying that hit all the time because I was listening to them all the time and I'd be like, that hits. Like, that's funny.
That was a fun episode.
That's the only episode we put out twice.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
That was the best of. I was like, I'll put that one out again. You know, sometimes you got to do that.
Those guys are still killing it.
Dude, they're doing really well for themselves. Trey Crowder and all those guys, they're killing it.
Yeah.
Really good. There's some funny dudes, man.
For sure. Super nice, too, man. Like, we mix it up with them. Like,
And they took shots of Malort at noon
Yeah.
when they had to do shows that night.
yeah.
I was like, I like these guys, man.
That's not
like Corey.
good.
Corey was taking those shots.
Yeah.
Remember? He was like, seriously, you got Malort? I was like, in my backpack. he was like, I have always wanted to try one of those. I would like a shot of Malort. I was like, hell yeah.
We put
The
a pretty good,
buttercream dream.
We could put a pretty good dent in their beer supply in Funny Bone that day.
We did, and they didn't charge us, thank God. 'Cause I was waiting for that to be, but apparently the well-read guys had a good rider.
Yeah,
And that worked out in our favor, and all it cost us was a little bit of Malort.
that's right.
And obviously 2 hours of their time in the middle of the day, sending them off
They
buzzed.
didn't have anything else to do. They're out of town, sitting in a hotel in a parking lot of a strip mall.
The podcast is a great excuse to get somewhat famous people to drink with you.
Oh yeah,
Easy.
You know, it's not bad. Yeah, Corey the Buttercream Dream. That dude is hilarious.
Yeah.
He was the most funny one there.
Corey Ryan Forster.
Yeah, he really was. He was a wild card. And he was
Yeah.
one of those guys I remember he was like, oh no, I do when I get older, I want to start doing heroin and just die. I was like,
right.
oh,
Yeah,
okay, well
nice.
that's not a very lofty goal, Corey. Like you're doing very well for yourself.
Well, and that dude Drew was a freaking lawyer or something. Like, I mean, he was super smart.
Yeah, and he was doing law like for people who needed help.
Yeah.
Like he was like
Yeah.
a pro bono type attorney. Like he wasn't making any money, so we decided, you know what? Showbiz.
Dude,
Turn
that's-
my back on the little guy.
I'm used to not making money.
Most of the comedians are smart as shit, though. Like they had,
They all got demons.
Yeah,
real true, but
You're not funny without demons. Nobody funny comes out of like a perfect upbringing.
there's probably
Yeah.
a lot of truth to that.
Yeah, you need to have some you had to have seen some shit to become funny. I think that's the reality. That's why we're
Guess
like
so.
kind of funny. We kind of seen some shit. I think that's how that works. So, hey, dude, you were just telling me that they moved the. This is going to be a little inside baseball for those outside of Richmond, but everybody's got one of these where you have like
Yeah.
the local outdoor venue.
The local outdoor venue here is called Innsbruck After Hours. It's been around for as long as I can remember. I mean, I remember my dad dragging me out there.
Pretty good location as
Yeah.
far as trying to
Yeah.
get Ubers and Lyfts, and it's also right off of like multiple
Yeah.
arteries throughout the
And it's
the-
in a pretty, like, heavily populated part
Yeah.
of town.
which made
But
it
it's
great.
mostly a business park, so in the summer nights, on Wednesdays, they have big music acts. And, I mean, if you went through the history of it, like, a lot of them are really big, and they're just on the way down. But, like, I've seen a lot of good acts there.
Yeah, the odds
Dude.
of you catching Alabama there are pretty good.
Yeah.
Because they're.
I mean, I
they
saw
peaked in the 80s.
in the last 5 years, I saw ZZ Top twice there.
Boom, that's a
Yeah.
perfect point right there on cue. You know, She's Got Legs came out in like 82.
Yeah.
You know?
Dude, those guys are amazing. Though they're all 75 years old, just up there jamming.
But, like, I've seen Heart there.
Oh,
I've
yeah.
seen,
Hey, you're all proving the point. No,
but
one-
I've also seen up and comers. Like, I took my kids like 5 or 6 years ago to see Andy Grammer because we had free tickets, and I knew it'd be like a good, like, wholesome,
You know
Yeah.
who always comes through there is Darius Rucker.
Yeah.
And that
Yep.
dude, he's always on the
Yep.
up.
Finishing his set with Purple Rain. That was hilarious. That was good.
Darius Rucker's the greatest artist we have.
So I saw the whoever opened for who the hell was I just talking about?
Andy Grammer.
Andy Grammer. The opener was this band I never heard of, and now they're one of the biggest bands around. AJR.
I was about to say AJR's on
Yeah.
all the festivals that
Yep.
tour now.
Yeah.
You always catch them. They were super nice. They like hung out
Oh
with your
yeah,
kids and
like they
stuff.
came out and sat with the people and interacted, and my kids went up and told them I like them. I got a picture with them and everything. It was really
You did
cool.
get some good bands like OAR would come through.
Yeah,
there.
OARs, you know.
Metallica. Oh wait, no, definitely not Metallica.
But anyway, they're moving it
Tame
out
Impala.
to
Nope.
they're moving it out to Meadow Event Park, which I just heard about, and I guess Stu knew about too.
So for people outside of the area, think of like
If you know
here's
where-
a venue that's like very close and kind of in the city and easy access to Ubers. Now take the outskirts of your metropolitan area and drive 20 miles down your number one highway out into the country.
Yep.
That's where it is. So for us, it's straight down 95 or up 95.
And the majority of people will know that it's right next to King's Dominion.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm trying to help people visualize who are outside of this area. And you had a good little outdoor venue everyone would go to,
Yeah.
and now they've moved it to a bigger location that's
It's
out in the middle of nowhere.
literally horse farms out there. That's all that's out there. And as Stu was mentioning, King's Dominion is a
I
mile
hate
or
this
two
though
away.
because now it's going to be difficult to get Ubers and Lyfts.
Yeah.
You're gonna have all kinds of drunk people pouring onto 95. I hate
Yeah.
when that happens.
Yeah,
Like allow people.
it's got
to
to be a
make good
better
decisions.
venue though.
Well, they've gotten some bigger names because I think they can hold more people. They expect to.
Better parking, hold more people,
I guess I
I
just
mean,
more space all the way around.
Jamie Johnson, Blues Traveler.
Blues Traveler.
dude.
well-
They got that new song.
Oh wait,
The
I
Hook.
take it all back. Holy shit! Blues Traveler, Jamie Johnson, which is
Jamie Johnson's big.
Hanson,
What? No,
Skinner.
This still sucks.
Skinner.
Toby Keith, Lee Bryce,
All these people.
Indigo Girls, the Commodores,
Come on. God,
Commodores.
help
Hell
me.
yeah.
Yeah, but
Foreigner,
this is horrible.
Foreigner,
Brad
yes.
Paisley,
Yeah, this
Sublime with Rome.
is. Yeah,
Who's
well,
singing for Sublime?
Rome.
Oh, with okay,
literally-
that's not the other band. I didn't know that.
No, and
okay.
they're playing with Dirty Heads. That's probably the best show on the venue there.
Get the lead out.
A cover band? Oh my gosh, they moved all the way out there to bring Foreigner in. I'm
Who's
like,
even in Leonard Skinner anymore?
It's Van Zant's son who's singing. That's it.
he sounds good though.
I'd
I've
still
seen
like
him.
to see them.
I've
They're
seen
good.
him. Well, I saw them open with Kid Rock once. Now
Hell yeah.
that
American
was a show.
Badass.
Dude, I shaved in a giant mustache and horrible
Yeah, you
goatee.
did.
I had big old chops. My wife
Fit
was like,
right in.
my wife was like, "This is disgusting. What are you doing?" We got there and she was like, "Oh,
I
I get it." And I was like, "Yeah, this way no one messes with me. I'm one of them."
Here's my pocket knife.
Yeah.
Go cut your jeans off
Yeah.
real short. Tie your shirt in a knot off to the side. You'll fit right in.
Exactly. Here, put this chewing tobacco in your mouth.
That's right.
You're gonna need it. Don't look weird. You're embarrassing me. But I'm spinning. I don't care. Get a little of that tobacco spit coming down your chin. You don't want to look weird.
You're going to get our asses kicked. They're going to see right through us.
Gosh, just stick
I mean,
a little of it in between your teeth.
Just yell Freebird every 10 to 15 minutes as loud as you can.
You're doing great, baby. You're doing great. Like, what are you wearing? Don't you have any white high tops? Gosh, you're embarrassing. That was a good show. That actually became a yearly tradition for about 3 years there. I would go to a Kid Rock concert with the plumber.
Nice.
And we would
Yep.
shave our winter beards into something god-awful.
That's
Go
fit
to
right
a
in.
Kid Rock show and fit in,
Nice.
and we'd be with our girls with their Gucci handbags.
Yeah.
Just looked like we'd paid for them or something because there's no way these beautiful women would be with us. Oh,
That's
man.
awesome. But yeah, but that's going to be weird. It's going to be a weird venue. I hope it works out for them.
I don't see myself driving out there to see Foreigner.
I mean, maybe
No.
once.
Did Foreigner sing "Eye of the Tiger"?
Golly, why
Sir.
don't I know that? I think so.
I don't think so.
No.
Yeah, "Eye of the Tiger."
I don't want to look it
Is
up.
that Survivor?
Yes, it is. You're
Ah,
right.
see, they don't even have their best hits. Not even there.
Foreigner had some hits.
Yeah, Foreigner. I mean, they're all in the same genre: Night
Yeah.
Ranger, Foreigner, Journey, Survivor.
Okay, you can take Journey and move them out of that.
Dude, I saw Journey live once. One of the best concerts I've ever seen.
I was about to say, let's move. Even Journey with the
News.
YouTube dude from the Philippines
yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Even though I'm a Steve Perry guy, but Journey, let's move them out. They're different. All those other bands,
Part of my Journey experience was the venue.
they need to get a Richie
I
Valens
saw
plane.
a sweet-
Put all those guys on there. Let the Big Bopper
The Big
fly.
Bopper come back in.
Yeah, I don't think he's coming around.
Or just get Skinner to fly them.
Ludacris is coming. Ludacris is coming to Meadow Event.
Hell yeah. He's come to Innsbruck before.
As of today,
Yeah.
DMX is still alive. By the time this comes out Friday,
knows?
we'll
Who
know a
knows?
lot, man. That's
If he makes it to August, he'll be there. He'll be at the New Meadow event part.
dude, they said he's not doing well, like vegetative state at the moment. That is, you never like to hear those words.
Do you know what DMX stands for?
Yes,
I just
it's
heard it. I had no idea.
Dark
Yeah, it's like Dark Man X.
Man X.
Dark
yeah,
Man.
Which I just heard recently. And actually, I would have said dog if you not said dark. 'Cause
it
I
is. It's Dark Man X.
Yeah.
yeah. Of course I know, dude. I'm a Rough Rider.
That's right. You always have been.
I had a purple motorcycle.
That's right.
That is the only prerequisite to become a Rough Rider. Don't you know how Rough Riders roll?
Yeah.
Stop. Yeah.
Drop.
Just shut them down, okay?
Shut 'em down.
I'm going to open up shop.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, you are.
That's how that goes. I'm a Rough Rider. No,
For life.
It's funny. Like I heard that he was, he had OD'd and wasn't doing well. And I started going back and listening to like some DMX, and then I found myself like down like a rabbit hole where I got away from like the songs that I knew. And I'm like, yo, dude, DMX is fantastic. Like he the stuff that I don't know is really good.
Really?
Yeah, I
would think if I went back and listened to his catalog of stuff, I'd be like, this isn't as good as I remembered it.
But that's exactly what happened. I was like, yep, okay, this is why he's touring with Foreigner. And then all of a sudden it's like I
just remember a lot of barking and
but he stopped barking as much later and
Yeah.
it got pretty good. And then I heard some story about how he had trained one of his massive pit bulls that when he would freestyle, like in freestyle battles, if he would say something about like a dog and a bite, the dog would hear that in the freestyle, and then he would stop,
would rap,
and then the dog would and go at the other guy, and then he'd always be like, "Now that my dog,
stop,
and
shut him down."
And then he would basically always, that was kind of his thing. Like he would get into a corner in a freestyle rap battle and be like, "Don't let the dog bite you." And then the dog would go off.
That was his.
And then he'd be like, "You can't even beat the dog."
His ace in
and
the
then
hole.
the dog would back up.
Yeah.
And so the dog was part of his freestyle. And I was like, you know what? That's kind of sick. Like, especially, DMX doesn't have a French bulldog.
No.
Like he's got
That's
a
you.
killer. Yeah, but I can't get this one to hear any time that I say, "Don't let the dog bite you." And
you know who could?
DMX.
DMX.
It's actually the only thing that our French bulldog can hear is DMX.
Yeah.
He's like the dog yeller.
I was gonna say it's the dog whistle of the rap world.
That's right. I hope DMX pulls out, man, but it doesn't sound good. And this will come out Friday, so this will be dated information.
Yeah.
Because we're recording on the night, to Stu's point at the very beginning, on the night of One Shining Moment.
That's right.
Dude, I had this
National
buddy.
championship.
I had this buddy in college who's my pledge brother, and we'll just call him the principal. And he would always make us stay up to watch One Shining Moment. He enjoyed One Shining Moment 10 times more than whoever was in the game.
Get all choked up every time.
Oh my gosh, literally.
He was
tears. He would tear up and he'd be like, "This is what they play
so
for."
we know
man.
what he's doing tonight.
I guarantee he's sitting around and he's just waiting for it, and he gets all emotional. He relives it which that song is horrible. It makes "Go Cubs Go" sound like the national anthem. Like that's not a great song.
I mean, they could do so much better. Like, even if they just had music, like not the lyrics or even if they just had music, better background music.
Yeah, good score would do better.
Dude, it literally sounds like something you should hear in a Lifetime movie with John Stamos and Meredith Baxter Birney. Like, that's the song. It sounds like the opening to Family Ties or some crappy 80s sitcom.
Family Ties probably has more energy.
No. That's actually a dope song. That was a bad example because that is the one like 80s. I'll be like, turn that up, dude. As long as we got each other.
Yeah.
Give me some Meredith Baxter Birney.
Dude, she made a lot of money off Lifetime movies. I won't.
She
fault
kept
her.
them. She kept them going for a minute.
I won't fault them. But that woman's seen some things, albeit in a script. But my God, she has been through some things. I feel bad for her. Our entire younger demo is like, who is
this?
Meredith Baxter Birney? Look her up. You know who she is.
Oh yeah.
I found a channel on my Fios that shows all those old sitcoms, and I've been watching them here and there. Three's Company and Facts of Life and Alice.
Oh yeah.
All those funny old shows.
Dude, Alice is hilarious.
Yeah.
Did you watch all those when you were a kid?
Oh yeah, I was a mess. I also used to watch like Nick at Night, so I was watching like Mr. Ed and crap.
Yeah.
At night. I thought I was so well versed in like TV culture.
Yeah. Yeah, for the younger listeners, you want your mind blown, just go watch Archie Bunker for a few episodes.
That's one thing I've never watched a full episode of that. Is that Family Affair? What's the name of that show?
All in the Family.
All in the Family. Yeah.
Yeah, that they pushed the envelope.
Oh yeah,
quite
I do
a bit.
know that. Yeah,
Quite a bit.
Well, then but you got Sanford and Son, which is the flip side.
dude, I
They
love
didn't
me some
push
Sanford
dude,
and
that
Son.
show is fantastic.
Like
I will
It's a
laugh.
Great show.
I will laugh my ass off at that though.
Yeah, I think they did.
Red
both
Fox
ways.
is like,
Yeah.
I mean, come on,
classic.
the guy's the greatest.
He almost died so many times.
Dude,
It's the big one.
the only guy who almost died more than him was
Yeah.
Ferrell. I mean, not Will Ferrell. Why am I drawing a blank on
Almost died.
yeah, the fat guy from Saturday Night Live, who everybody
Oh,
Tommy
Farley.
Boy.
Chris
Yeah,
Farley.
he's the only guy that
Yeah.
died more than Farley.
Where he punched
Oh.
himself in the chest.
Yeah,
That's heart attack number 11.
Yeah, when he was the Bulls guy.
or the Bears.
The
Both.
Bears. Yeah, or
he
the
was. He
Bears.
was both.
Chicago
They
guy.
would do both. They're super fans. Place was pretty cool. I was in Chicago right before the pandemic hit, and there's this really cool bar called O'Toole's downtown, and it's like, well, you know what it is.
Yeah,
but here's the shocking part. It's also a sports bar.
yeah.
And all of their koozies and all their shirts say, "We don't care who wins or loses. We're here for the beer." So it really gives you kind of the idea of like the kind of place. And they did a super fan bar pop up.
Oh, nice.
And so they would take a corner of the restaurant and they would do it up to just look just like the super fans, and you could sit in the super fans bar
Nice.
and just be handed sausages and just get hammered. I was like, this place is all right. And they do that usually around Bears home opener. They
Okay.
set up the pop up and they allow you to come in, so the first game you can be a
Nice.
super fan. The place is pretty cool.
They're gonna do it this year with their
I
new
doubt
quarterback,
No one cares. about
QB1.
that. Screw that, dude. I'm not trying to go down that road. I'm so furious that they took Andy Dalton. Ugh. I don't even want to talk about it. It's seriously upsetting.
and what's his name just went to the Carolina Panthers. Sam Darnold from the Jets got traded.
Yeah, there's every quarterback's name you can say is better than what we paid $12 million for.
Andy Dalton could have cut it in Cincinnati.
Good luck in Chicago.
Yeah.
They're super gentle there. Their sports teams. I don't even want to talk about it. Like that,
He's not ready for the weather.
you're just upsetting me.
That was the point.
Well, thank you, Troy.
You're welcome.
Mission
All
accomplished.
good.
Do you see Coinstar capitalizing on the weenie?
I did not. I none of those words. They're all words, but I don't know what any of them mean.
Do you remember the story we told about the guy who worked for like A1 Peachtree, AOK Peachtree Automotive?
Oh yeah.
And the boss said he was a weenie and
Okay,
sent him
I
home.
was thinking a hot dog. Okay.
Yeah.
No, he's the weenie.
Yeah,
and he dropped off 90,000 pennies.
Oh,
they're covered in oil.
Coinstar.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that separates all your change. from it.
Coinstar finally swooped in and decided to get a little PR out of it.
Did they take their 10% cut or what they usually
No,
take?
They did.
and that is precisely what I expected. I was like, well, okay, he's only going to get like $900,
Yeah.
he should have gotten $800.
Yeah.
And so I was like, Coinstar's not that great. These assholes. I'm like, I don't know why I'm mad at them. Like, they
Yeah.
did the right thing. They took his giant wheelbarrow of oily pennies and they gave him a $900 check. And then they donated a bunch of money to 2 charities of his choice.
He probably already cleaned and rolled half of it anyway.
He said he put in 2 hours a night was his.
Yeah.
Because he's a
Yeah.
weenie. I am so on AOK Auto's side. I don't know what this guy did, but I feel like he did something bad.
I definitely would like to know when we told that story, the guy basically, the owner of the place, AOK, basically, without saying he did it, he said he did it.
He said, I don't remember that.
Right.
Yeah.
But he got paid, so what's the problem? There you
So
go.
in my mind, if you're going to own up to that, tell your side of the story. Be like, yes, what I did was a dick move, but here's why I did it.
Yeah. This dude would show up drunk on the job
Yeah.
and just lay there like he didn't deserve the money.
He cost me $2,000 on this whatever he broke or did something wrong.
He didn't put the oil in 3 different people's
Yeah,
engines and they
yeah.
drove off and seized up.
Yeah.
Now you see I'm putting words in their mouth.
Yeah.
But that dude's a weenie. I just love that he called him a weenie.
I still think most people are halfway decent people, and that was a calorie burner for that AOK guy. So if
Yeah,
it's easier,
he was scorned.
if
Right.
it was easier, if he just didn't like the guy, he'd fire him and cut him a check and say, "I never want to see you again."
Yeah, don't ever come
But
in
if
here.
I gotta get $900 worth of pennies and fucking take it over to your house in the middle of the night and coat it with oil. Like, that's a lot of work and effort, and I'm putting myself in jeopardy all despite you. He has done something. I'm with you on that. He's done something.
Yes.
I want to know what happened.
I'll have to follow up with the girlfriend. She was on Facebook.
The girlfriend of the weenie?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she's going
Figured
to take his side.
Not if he's a total weenie.
You got to follow up with the girlfriend of the AOK.
Yeah, now that woman will tell you some stories.
Yeah, because she knows what's up.
That's exactly right. She had to squirt oil on all those pennies.
That's
She's
right.
tired.
Yeah.
Her hand
Dude,
still hurts.
I just looked it up. 11.9% is what Coinstar takes when you. That's $12 on 100.
They're horrible. Well, it's
So-
$11.90.
I think the way they
I just rounded
do
up.
it,
I understand what happened.
I think the way they do it is, because I've used it once or twice, I feel like they do that, but if you like, or you can get like a gift card to the store you're in. I feel like I saw that
That's
somewhere.
a better rate.
Yeah,
to do
so
that.
it's like, yeah, I'll end up using $100 at this Food Lion, so it's better than getting $88.
There you
so
go. Well, they stepped in to capitalize on this poor guy's, nonsense. So they gave him the full amount, which I'm like, that's messed up. And then they
like
donated.
you said, it's a PR move.
Yeah, and then they donated to 2 charities on his behalf.
They
Dude.
don't care about that broke mom of 3 who's bringing in the half-filled 5-gallon bucket.
I would
that she's
respect
been-
this guy if the charity he donated to was like, all right, these low-income areas that have Coinstars, I want you to use that money to pay these people's fees.
Yeah, yeah.
Right.
Then I'd be like, don't call that guy a weenie.
Yeah, because think about who uses a Coinstar. It's literally the brokest motherfuckers out there.
Every time I go into a Coinstar, I
Yeah,
can
but-
guarantee I haven't showered in a couple days and things
Yeah.
are desperate. And I've used some Coinstars.
Oh, yeah, I used to have an empty 5-gallon Diamond Springs
Yeah,
container.
and you fill it.
And when I was in college, and fill it was the goal. Never got to that.
No.
Get a few inches and then go through it and pull out all the silver and a couple ones I'd thrown in there, and then start it back over, and finally just get to where it's like, all right, I can't even afford to.
When
pull
you're
out
using
the silver.
Coinstar, either the power is getting cut
Yeah,
or like you really
Rent's
need a
due,
big
or
bite
you
bag.
don't have
Like,
any food. Like
Yeah.
it's
things are dire.
Coins were for OE.
Oh yeah.
That's what they were for.
I bought
Yeah.
many a 40 with change.
Yeah.
There's no
when I was
coming out
in
of the
high school,
couch.
I used to I'd buy gallons of gas with change because a gallon of gas is 99 cents, and I'd have like
Yeah,
$2.43, and I'd go buy $2.43 worth of gas to get me up and down the road.
Get you where you need to be
Yeah.
too. I can remember that. Different time.
Yeah,
No. Coinstar hooked this guy up, this weenie. I don't know why I'm so anti right now, but like I never liked I just feel like underneath it all,
There's something missing.
that dude did something. I don't want to celebrate
No, I
this
agree.
guy.
I agree. I got a call from my brother this past weekend. He was calling to say what was up. It was actually Friday. I was off. I'd taken off, and the wife and I are out running errands, and we'd gone to the mall to look for something, shoes or something. He called me, and I answered the phone. And I was in the mall. I could hardly hear, and he was like, "What's up, toilet shit?" And I was like, "What?"
That's
And
messed
I
up.
really had no idea what he was saying. Like I couldn't. I thought he was saying some cool new slang I didn't know about. He's like
it's
toilet shit.
It's the coolest.
I was like, "What did you say?" He's like, "Toilet shit." He's like, "I've been listening to the podcast," and I was like, "Oh, toilet shit."
You talk to him anymore?
No, we're not speaking.
I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Do you know what that word means?
Well, not until you told me.
It's the most
Yeah.
vulgar word
Yeah, it's the worst.
in the English dictionary.
Yeah.
Apparently, it's not new either.
No. It's been around since definitely late 80s.
Yeah, I thought you'd get a kick out of that. So
I love it.
That's
I love
good.
that he called you a toilet.
yeah, cut deep.
That's
God.
hilarious. Good for him. Good for him for coming at you with that. Toilet shit's some serious stuff, man. The old TS bomb?
Don't just call anybody that.
No. And for the record, Powhatan is still TS.
So did you have to deal with any TS this weekend with your second home?
Oh yeah, man. That my lake place, man. It's not all glory and relaxation and fun times and honestly,
What could possibly go wrong? You last went there in like October?
well,
What could have changed?
we winterized it in November, and we went down for a day a couple months ago just to check on it, make sure it was still standing upright and hadn't burned down or anything. But it's just, it's like owning anything, you know. It's like even if you had a boat, like it's just one more thing to take care of, and that's
Yeah.
what owning a second home is like. It's just more grass to cut, more leaves to rake up, more bills to pay, more things that can go wrong. And like you were hinting at, Brendan, when you don't get down there, you know, a lot, you know, things sit and then things tend to go bad. And my electric golf car that I got last summer, and it's my fault, I guess. I didn't want to leave it charging the entire time, even though it's got a smart charger on it, because it's tucked up it's by the deck. It's tucked up under everything. Something were to go wrong, I didn't want it to burn the whole place down. So I just let it go dead, thinking, oh, it'll plug back in and charge right up. Well, that's not how they work. So basically, I spent the entire weekend monkeying around with my electric golf car.
I thought the electric ones are supposed to be like mad easy too.
I thought so too.
You just put a new battery in it?
Yeah.
Oh no, that's not how that works. They have like 6 or 7 batteries.
It's like $800 to replace it. So
okay, never mind.
I had to go get a battery charger, which is like a 20-minute drive into town. So go to Harbor Freight, get a battery charger, come back.
Troy's looking for the nearest Coinstar.
Yeah.
Yes. You see? And if this weenie had just paid it forward to all the
right.
people who need Coinstar, you could have gotten hooked up because, you know, that area surrounding that lake is pretty low rent. It could have gone to some good use.
Yep.
But no.
So, of course, the first battery charger I got didn't work, so I had to make a 20-minute drive back to town, go buy a different battery charger at a different place, come back, just monkey around with it all weekend, basically. It's never ending.
Just pissed off the whole time.
Bought a new lawnmower. So next time I go down there, I got to put that together and cut grass. Like, it's never, it's not as simple as just going down there, cracking a beer.
The best second home would be the one next door to your current home. It's very easy to work on.
Yes.
You know?
Yeah, that has a Home Depot 5 minutes away.
Yeah, there's the best second home.
Yeah, I spent the better part of 72 hours putting in a basketball goal, taking out the old in-ground concrete, putting in the new pole with new concrete. I had a whole new
Why'd you do
opinion. So my girlfriend's kids, their grandparents gave them a brand new basketball goal for Christmas.
Oh, congratulations!
So,
Like a
now
nice
you get to
one.
put one in.
I mean, it's real nice, plexiglass,
Yeah.
whole 9 yards. But the old pole had like whoever did it, just 600 pounds of just quickcrete.
That's how it's done.
And so
right.
I was like, I started digging it, and I was thinking, I'm gonna have to get my brother's truck. We're gonna have to tow this thing out of here.
That's how the
Finally,
one
I
at my
said,
parents'
screw
house
it,
is.
and went to Home Depot and got the old jackhammer.
That's
That
what
was
you,
fun
That's
on
what
my-
you were using the
that's
jacket.
That
why
was
you
what was fun on my back.
I
but
bought my
broke.
kids a basketball goal, one that you put water and sand in for like $80 for Christmas, like 8 years ago, and it's still standing fine.
Dude, I
Like,
want a basketball.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about getting a basketball hoop. My kids don't play basketball, and I keep trying to be like, you should play basketball. Because I just need one of them to say, it's a good idea, and then I can point at them and be like,
Go buy
honey.
the one I bought on Amazon. And like,
Dude, you should go old school and put it on the top of the roof right above the garage.
No, I'm putting it right over here. I want to get one of those ones you just put like water in the
Yeah,
base
that's what I
I
have.
don't want to deal with what you're dealing with.
yeah.
But I feel like, you know, we
It
should
came
be playing ball because ball is life.
It is.
That's how Rough Riders roll. That's what I'm gonna do.
No, I would recommend that thing I got like all day long.
Yeah, I
like,
just need a
it's
cheap
perfect
one.
for kids. It lowers down to like 7 feet. It goes like half-foot increments.
Oh, this one does the whole.
Can
This
it-
does the whole 9 yards too, 7.5
Well, yeah,
to 10 feet.
but-
But
Can it
I
handle a 200-pound man
No,
just
you can't
dropping
hang on it.
nasty dunks?
No.
Because I pretty much always dunk.
Yeah.
If you get me
You
within
do play
the paint,
above the rim.
dude.
yeah, what
Always.
is that? That's that 7.5 foot mark.
Nah, dude. I put it up to 11.
11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It goes
Like
to
your
11.
yeah. And I've got a smaller rim.
'Cause you don't miss.
Oh.
That's right.
Yeah.
Like you can't
Nice.
just get on net. It has to just touch rim all the way around.
Dude,
it's
it's-
like a carnival rim. That's what I
You know,
want.
it's crazy when you actually take a basketball rim and you put it on the floor and you actually put a basketball inside of it.
Two basketballs will fit
You're like,
inside of a
how do you
rim.
ever miss? Because
Yeah.
it's fucking huge.
I don't know. I've never missed.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
That's how you roll.
Living above the rim, dude. No miss. Yeah, I need to get something that can take a.
Dude, you got hosed to have to do all that, man. That sucks.
It actually was not that bad. I mean, the worst part was breaking up the concrete. But what was nice was all that broken up concrete I used it as backfill, so I didn't have to use as much concrete.
Yeah.
So there's big chunky. So instead of like making it as a thick concrete, I put more water in it, and it filled in the crevices and stuff in it. Now I put concrete in the pole. I mean, I think it could stop a car.
God help the next person who has to take that thing down.
Well, That's
Do
the
her
thing.
kids play a lot of ball?
Yeah, her daughter is on AAU, plays at Maggie Walker as a sophomore. She's 5'10".
Okay.
And then her son plays. I mean, he's a freshman, but he
plays collegiate ball. He's a freshman in high school.
Yeah, no,
Plays collegiate.
he doesn't play. He plays club basketball. He's not playing for any schools. But her daughter.
Story of my life.
You know.
I was telling my girls the other day because I was talking about how I love playing basketball, and they're like, "You must have been pretty good." And I was like, "Actually, truth is, I never made the high school team, despite trying out a couple times. Never made the high school team, and I actually always rode the bench in the club leagues. So like, not only was I never gonna make the high school team, but I couldn't even get on the court in the club leagues.
Yeah.
Did I tell this story the other
No.
day about? Oh man, I had the best game of my life one day. I ended up. So here I am. I'm this high school kid who's like playing with like younger kids. Like I'm a senior. There's freshmen on this team who are starting because I'm just in the youth league. I can't make the big team. And one day I'd been hanging out with a couple of my buddies, and it was like senior year, and we decided to have a couple beers before the game. Probably Power Rangers was on or Price is Right because that was usually like Pavlov's dog. If we saw Power Rangers or Price is Right,
Then you had to have beers?
we'd be like, we should drink a couple beers or take a couple shots. And so I've had a couple shots, and then I'm like, oh my gosh, I got a game. I totally forgot I had a game. So I go to the game. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna play. And they finally put me in because I've been riding the bench like normal, and I'm sitting there just kind of drunk. It's like a kid,
Yeah.
And they put me in. And I don't know what it was, but like I couldn't miss. Like I couldn't miss. I was always just a bundle of energy. That's what I was. I was like Dennis Rodman, but not as effective.
Yeah.
But like I wasn't a shooter, but on defense I was tenacious, and I would give whatever I could to get rebounds. But I had enough booze in me that like I was flying all over the court. I thought I was unstoppable. And lo and behold, like I'm stealing balls. I'm rejecting shots. I'm getting rebounds
on his own team.
Yeah.
Then occasionally, like I'd put up the shot and everyone like runs in for the rebound. It's like it's in the hoop. Everyone's like, "What the hell?" So like halftime comes and the coach is like, "Brendan, this is the energy. This is what I'm talking about, man. Like you are playing lights out." He's like, "You're in there." So he puts me in, and now I'm fired up because the coach is like,
yeah,
he's hyping me up. I'm like, I am phenomenal, and now I'm like Tasmanian devil crazy. Because I cannot do no wrong. And I remember like I'm going all over the place. And
this is a club team?
Club team. Oh, I was horrible.
In high school?
Yeah.
So y'all had club team? Was it like a rec league?
Like the community rec league.
Okay, rec league. Okay.
Yeah, the Vienna Youth League.
Gotcha.
This is where I would play. And I'm in there. I'm going batshit, right? And then this kid steals the ball from me. And I'm like, I am not having it. I'm playing the best game.
This is my court.
Yeah, this is my court. And I'm running down full speed. He goes up for a layup. And I jump with everything I've got. And I clothesline this kid.
Oh, God.
So hard.
Flagrant.
And he slams down. Boom! On the ground. They ejected me from the best game of my career.
Oh, man.
The best game of my career. This was like 9-10 years in the making to get to this point. And I only got half of the first half. Best game of my life. And then I'm ejected from the game. And they're like, if you ever play like that again, you're out of the league.
Oh, man.
And then so after that, I was like, okay, no more drinking. Like on game days. And I rode the bench the rest of the season. But that was my one shining moment. That was the one. And then I turned into a total
they didn't have like
psycho.
any fair play rules where like you got in some?
Yeah, they had to put me in a little.
Yeah.
And that's what basically was happening. We were winding down in the first half, so they had to put my dumb ass in. And all of a sudden, I'm on fire. Like I'm the best I've ever been. And then what do? I lose control of myself. I clothesline a kid. I'm ejected.
And he never walked again.
No, he did.
Oh, okay.
He did. He actually went on. His name was Grant Hill.
Grant.
Yeah. Dude, we had
we should get that.
What was it?
Okay.
So middle school, 6th through 8th grade, all the guys on our team that we played for the school, went on to played high school ball. But
so you guys were talented. See, I never had that.
Our middle school, we even had sweatshirts made. We were 41-0 for 3 years.
Nice, dude.
It was amazing. It was like
That's what
All
I'm
right,
talking about.
we're good to go.
Ooh, look at this beer.
Oh, no.
Everybody's going to be very
Shit.
excited. I saw this beer,
Shit.
and when I saw the name of it, I said, they've done it.
Let's see here.
This is the most crushable beer ever. And you guys all know where we stand on crushable. It's like the extreme of the beer world, and everybody's saying it now. But Great Lakes Brewing Company has stepped it up, and they have named a beer outright crushworthy.
Oh my gosh! Challenge accepted by Great Lakes Brewing.
Crushworthy.
Where are they from? Cleveland, Ohio.
Says, get smitten with a totally crushable low-cal wheat ale gushing with dreamy doses of real citrus.
Crushable.
4.0 ABV and 105 calories. Ale with orange and lemon.
Crushworthy.
Oh, my God.
They've done it. And even the artwork on it looks like a tattoo because
Yeah.
it's extreme.
Yep.
Crushworthy.
It looks like a
Old sailor's
school
tattoo.
Yeah.
Actually, it's Valentine's.
What?
The orange is shaped like a heart. It's got an arrow going through it.
Yeah, crushworthy, dude. It's got a crush on it.
Yeah,
Crushworthy.
It's crushworthy.
This is
That's exactly
the
right.
perfect deli. They have done it. Somebody has gone over the top and embraced crushworthy.
We were wondering when it was going to happen.
It has finally
Low
jumped
cal.
the shark. The good news is we won't have to hear this term crushable for it'll fade out within a year now.
I sure hope so.
Because this is the top. They've made it to the top of the dork food chain.
Well, now I'm wondering if, to Stu's point, if this isn't a play on Crushworthy, the Valentine's version.
Oh,
So-
did they put crushable in their description? When you just read
yeah,
it,
I
it
think
said
they did, yeah.
Yes. No. They knew what they were doing, and they went, oh, it's a
Yeah,
pun.
because they're here on their website. It says, "Do you believe in love at first sip?"
Yep, that's what it says on the back of the can.
Crushworthy.
With a highly filtered body and a sweet kiss of orange, it's more than a crush. It's your new main squeeze. So they're more playing off the.
They're doing both.
Valentine's.
Yeah,
They
doing
said it's
both.
crushable, and then there's that's what I'm saying. We've officially jumped the shark. It is here. This is the pinnacle of douchiness. We have the Great Lakes Brewing Company, Crushworthy.
Pairs well with white pizza, ceviche, and flirty text.
Oh,
God.
come on.
Tell me
Avocado
you made that
toast.
up. Tell me you made that
It's
up.
right here on their website. There's
Come on.
get smitten with a totally
Flirty
crushable
text.
low-cal wheat.
Oh my God.
You know what goes great with dick pics? Crushworthy. That's all I'm hearing. there.
Hey babe, you're cute. Hold on. Let me up my game here and crack one of these Crushworthies.
Wait.
I'm gonna hit this chick up on Tinder. Check this out. No, she's never heard this one. Sup. Brilliant.
You up?
Crushworthy.
Did you just
are.
order a white pizza? I've got some crushable.
Oh, we need a Great Lakes Brewing Company Crushworthy.
Fucking white pizza. It's not even pizza.
Yeah, it's just bread with oil and cheese, which is
Yes.
good, but don't call it. It's just not pizza.
By the way, I'm over pizza. Like,
Okay, that's a whole nother. I
That's
can't
what?
start on that because that's nonsense.
Yeah, I'm totally over pizza.
Pizza's the truth.
No.
Okay.
Pizza's an ends to a mean. Means to
can't-
an end.
I can't even have this conversation with you. We're just going to go
We're
out
gonna
and fight.
We'll go first.
Oh, are you going? You're already
children.
going?
No, I said we should go with the beer first before we
Pizza's
start
for
talking about
children.
pizza.
Oh my gosh, pizza! Dude, I own a pizza oven. I love pizza.
It's fucked out. It's over. It's done.
It's not
It's
done.
done?
Pizza's done.
It's not done.
Use that thing 3 times a year.
I've used it once in the last week.
That doesn't.
Okay, for our listeners, I'm going to stand back and watch this happen.
Oh, I'm furious. I'm furious. I love pizza. Like I love pizza.
So love it. I'm just saying it's not that good.
That's ridiculous. Nobody agrees with you.
Okay. I'm not like you. I don't need everyone to agree with me for me to have an opinion.
No one. It's just. I think you're just trying to push buttons.
No, I'm not. Pizza's
look,
good if you're hungry.
Student section's brought by Pizza Hut.
Oh.
Yeah. Again,
Pizza's everywhere.
I
It's
don't-
in every culture, everywhere around the world.
Pizza's an American bastardized thing.
It's everywhere though, because it's like
True.
it's everywhere.
So are hamburgers.
Yeah, now you hate hamburgers?
no, I didn't say
oh
that.
my god, are hamburgers done?
No. Just most pizza's not good.
I don't
Most
see.
pizza
I don't
is
see
not
Troy
good.
making a fool out of himself on the list of topics. I just don't.
Most pizza is not good.
What's the old joke? like sex is like
Yeah.
pizza. Even bad pizza's good.
But I don't think bad pizza's good anymore. Most chains, I'd rather just not even eat it.
You just been eating Hunt Brothers lately? What's going on?
No, just like any delivery most all delivery pizza's not very good.
You don't just like a slice of like a
Yeah.
true New York slice of pizza. Like
Did you any slice or
gone.
New York slice?
Yeah.
JoJo's Pizza from downtown's going in there.
It means
Just-
nothing to me. I don't know anything
They're
about
good
it.
New York
Oh,
single
good.
slice.
I'll
So
take
a
that.
New York slice closed.
Yep.
Well, there you go. That's not me. That didn't shut down because I said fuck pizza.
Dude, I went and got some weird Cuban pizza this past week at Mellow Mushroom. They literally put
Their
pickles.
pizza's overrated.
They put totally. I totally agree with that.
Yep.
But they put pickles on it and like they put like
Yeah.
ham and salami, like pulled pork and
Sounds
salami,
awesome.
and then they put a mustard drizzle on it.
Jesus.
And I'm like, this sounds so bad, but I hate all those things, right? But I love Cubans because like one day I just ordered a Cuban. I was like, I gotta know.
So you went for it?
And I was like, oh, okay, all this stuff really goes well together. So I took the ultimate leap of faith and I tried the Cuban pizza. That may be the best pizza there. Now it deviates from what you would consider a pizza considerably, but phenomenal. If you like Cubans, you got to get the Mellow Mushroom Cuban pizza.
I'm a Sergio's guy.
One of those other chain restaurants did that shit recently, going after the DoorDashes and stuff that were delivering your food all fucked up. It was like, get a cheeseburger pizza. It had like a mustard sauce on it or something. Like,
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh.
it sounded so gross.
I never tried it. It was Domino's.
Yeah.
So are you done with
Which
pizza?
if you're gonna order,
No, I'll eat a pizza, but
Just
I
not from the
I just,
chains?
No, I'll eat that. I'm just saying, I used to like it. Now, like when I see it, I'm not like, oh great, we got pizza. It's like, all right, guess we're having pizza tonight, and I don't want to be hungry, so I'm gonna eat this pizza.
so you never get a craving for pizza.
Not really.
I was big on the Tombstone Mexican pizza.
That being said, I did eat a microwavable pizza tonight.
Now that's a means to an end.
That's what he said.
Yeah.
See, I'm saying I make a pizza like I put exactly what I want on it. I make my dough. I do like I love that. I
Yeah,
love being
but
able
you
to
like
do
that whole process. I'm saying most like
Oh,
like,
dude, I
you're-
love things with a process. I got a story to tell after this deli.
you're like just all your chains are just they're gross. I don't think any of them are very good.
So it's a chain pizza thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's most pizza, right? I mean, there's not.
I mean, Little Caesars used to be good. Now it's fucking
What?
horrible.
No, dude.
I hate-
I don't need your help.
No, I'm saying when they first hit the market, years and years ago, it was a good pizza. Now because it's so mass.
I used to like Papa John's, and I just don't think it's very good anymore.
I
I think too. What a lot of it is for me is the doughiness. Like a
Yep.
thin crust is
You like a
always
thin
better.
crust?
A thin crust is always better.
Yeah,
to me.
see,
I
that's
like
why I like to make my pizza. I make
Yeah.
them very thin.
Yeah, and I don't want the thin limp pizza. I want the crust to
Yeah,
you pick it up,
crisp.
the whole slice stays in one straight line.
Yeah, that's good. I also like deep dish. Domino's actually has a good deep dish pizza.
Pizza?
Yeah, we're gonna say pizza now.
Okay.
Is that the one I keep seeing the commercials for with like all the pepperoni on it and the sauce?
No,
on
that's
the
the
top?
Pizza Hut Detroit style, and I can't get it. I've been trying forever.
I would like to try that.
Okay, so you're not completely numb.
I didn't
to
say I would
pizza.
never eat it. I'm just saying it's not as good as people make it out to be.
Pizza's pretty crushable.
It is. I mean, look, it's like my argument with Taylor. Wasn't it Taylor who went a year without eating pizza or something? And we were like blown
He didn't
away.
eat cheese.
Yeah, but like,
Oh,
That
a little
obviously kept him from being able to eat pizza. But he was like, the one thing I missed was
Yeah.
pizza.
but like, it's hard to avoid pizza, especially when you have young kids and they're doing school activities and sports, and you end up. We always have people over in the neighborhood, and it's always like, let's just order pizza. You know, like it's always
Yes.
it's hard to avoid.
yeah.
But I'm never just like, oh yeah, we're ordering pizza tonight. Yeah, I'd rather
Oh.
have something else.
My daughters and I will literally have to force my wife into getting pizza. It's like we all fight
Yeah,
for
because
it.
she has better taste than y'all.
No, she's just
You have a
scared
kid's
of carbs.
case.
Dude, I will eat chicken tenders in a pizza. I don't care. But I'm a grown up.
Yeah.
Can we talk about this beer?
Because it's not grown up.
This is not
The beer's not grown up.
This is not a grown up beer.
This is not a grown up beer. I don't know I don't know where I stand on it though. Like I've
It's
had
really
I've had
weird.
half a beer. I agree it's fairly crushable.
Yeah, it's pretty light.
It's pretty light. I'll give them that.
4%.
Bastards.
I wonder what.
I don't. I don't get a whole lot of the
7.5
flavor.
grams of carbs.
What? See, I don't like that. Just get a pizza.
Yeah.
Stu, what do you think of this beer? I'm sure you like the marketing.
Oh, no, it's too busy.
Oh, didn't expect that.
It's
much like Troy's pizza comments.
I mean, if you're going to go with Crushworthy, you might as well make the word really, really easy to see. There's a lot of artwork. I mean, it's cool artwork, but no, I don't give it a
Too
good score
hipster for you?
Yeah, I don't know. It's just, but I don't. Okay, say one. I don't taste the citrus. I'm not really getting that flavor.
Get a test.
Yeah, you have correct.
Get a test.
Trust me.
It is tart as shit.
There is no denying
Yeah.
this has got citrus in it.
I don't taste the tartness.
This is get a test.
I get a little
Yeah.
bit of the lemon.
I'm glad I got my shots.
I mean, I taste.
Yeah, you can. I'm glad you're next to him.
I can taste more of the lemon than I can the citrus.
Boo, I don't even know how to unpack that comment.
Yeah.
Okay, so
I'm going to give this a 2.5. I'm going to give this a 2.5 because it's too much of a light beer.
I mean,
It's like a light beer. It's just when they're.
I've got an allergy to citrus. I only eat lemons. I don't even know where to begin with this. You know, lemon's a citrus fruit, right?
Right, but orange? I don't. No. I'm not tasting the orange.
You're fine.
I'm trying to figure out what you're trying to get at because I'm looking at it. It's like
You're
it
saying
says
you
orange.
don't taste citrus and lemon's a citrus fruit.
Sorry, I'm not. I should have said I don't taste the orange. I taste the lemon. Yes. That's what I'm going after. I don't like the beer at all. To be honest.
What's your
with
score?
you. 2.5.
It's not as bad as I was going to think he was going to go with that.
Oh, I know. Well, he hates citrus.
Yeah.
He likes the lemon, though.
Yeah.
No, I meant to say orange, but I'll just stick with my current comment and
2.5.
Shut up now.
2.5. It's 2.5. It's basically
2.5.
where
I don't
we
like
are.
it. It's flat. It doesn't seem. It just doesn't seem like a good beer.
Have you ever heard of Blue Moon Light Sky?
Yes.
Do you like that beer more than this beer?
No.
No.
I don't like Blue Moon White Sky.
So you don't like that either.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I think this is definitely in that ballpark of like what they're trying to do.
It might be, but I just.
Well, that's why
I don't know.
asked.
It's just
That's why I
not.
asked. Yeah.
And I've had a. I mean, I can taste the flavors. I just don't like it. I mean, I've been drinking a Michelob Ultra, and it's not.
I don't blame you. I don't
not
blame
really-
you. Troy, you want me to go or you want to go?
Go ahead.
So the thing about this beer is I can't taste the citrus. I taste the lemon.
Oh, God. You teed him up, Sid.
He's gonna go off all night. This is great.
Teed
I'm just
up,
here
he
for your.
knocks him
I'm just here
down.
for your entertainment.
Oh, I got the scurvy. If only there was some citrus on board, but all we have are these fucking
All we have are
lemons.
these lemons. Throw them overboard. Why are we carrying these around anyway?
So much scurvy on this boat. Yeah, I think I'd rather have a light sky than this. I actually like a light sky. It's an understated citrus flavor, and I like that about it. There's something. It's good. I'm not saying it's bad. Like I'll
It's
drink
not a bad
it.
beer.
I'll drink it. It reminds me a little bit of that beer that you got at like the Shop and Save.
Mm-hmm.
That was here
Yeah,
the
like
other
a month
day.
ago. Yeah.
Yeah. And that one actually was a little better than this. But I like that they're trying to go with a low cal.
It's just not that low carb, though.
No, I don't understand. That's because they sugared it up, and you can taste that sweetness.
So they're going for, they say low cal, but they don't say low carb.
No.
It's supposed to be like, just because it's 105 calories, you're drinking healthy. But really, that's a lot of carbs.
Here's the one thing I will give them.
We're like a Miller Lite's a 3.2 or something like that.
It is
Yeah.
relatively crushworthy, to Stu's point. Like, it's super light.
Oh, yeah.
It's super light when you drink it.
Yeah,
There's
I mean,
not
you
a lot
just-
to it.
Yeah.
But for whatever reason, that lemon flavor and that orange flavor, it's almost like a fake
Yeah.
orangey flavor. I'm actually spot on with Stu. I'm giving it 2.5. It's right down the middle. I don't think I would seek it out. I'll pick up a light sky if I want something in this.
Is the
This
carbs there
ballpark.
because it is a wheat ale? Is that
Probably.
Or the sugar.
But then the calories would go up, so I'm guessing it might be the wheat thing.
Yeah.
But it's a 2.5 for me. That's about where I stand. I'm with Stu.
I really like this beer. I like the taste of it a lot. It's got I like sour, so it's got the tart that I like, but
Definitely
it's
has
got
some tart.
It's got enough sugar to cut it to where you're not, your cheeks aren't caving in. Like
For sure.
like it's good. It's good. I like the taste. To Stu's point, it's not very bubbly, so it's really easy to crush.
I will give them that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for me, for this being a microbrew and you're, $6, $10, $11 for a 6-pack, it's just when their marketing is going on the low cal, low carb thing, and I get it because I'm right there. I'm here for it. I want the low carbs.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pay that just for that taste. I'd rather drink. Really, you might as well get a Corona Premier or Corona Extra or get a seltzer, because then you're getting no carbs and no sugar, and you're getting this citrusy taste anyway.
Yeah.
Well, you could drop a lime in there,
Yeah,
which is citrus adjacent.
yeah. It's not an orange,
Yeah.
but this is this beer is fine. I like this beer. I'll give it a 3.
Stu looks like he's going to stab me.
I'll give it a 3. I want to give it more, but it doesn't have enough going for it. I mean,
Something's just not spot on, and that's why I can't.
Yeah.
I can't love it. So a 3 though, that's at least it's trending in the right direction.
it's above average on flavor for me. Like, I like this flavor.
Yeah, I think I'm just disappointed in what I expected.
Yeah.
Which is why I knocked it down. I expected greatness.
No, I'm not arguing either of your scores.
Does that kind of go hand in hand with Cleveland, Ohio?
The moment you said it came from Cleveland, I was like, oh, of all the Great Lakes, you went Erie? Gross. Like, that's a little foul.
Because my first thought when I saw it at first was Great Lakes. I was like, oh, is this Chicago?
I
'Cause I was like, that's where I
Dude,
went to boot camp.
Every time I've seen this particular beer, like this brewing company, I've assumed. I never took the time to
There's a
read
lot
into
of
it.
different parts of a lot of different Great Lakes.
Yeah, I just assumed it was, it was a good one and not the polluted one.
What were you going to talk about? I went off on a tangent. And
Oh,
you were like, oh yeah,
Because I like things that involve a process.
Right.
yeah.
I've got the pizza oven. I like to make my own
Yeah.
dough and then go through all the rigmarole of like making my own pizza, which is horrible because you can order a pizza. I don't know if you know this, but it'll be here in 30 minutes.
It's
It'll
not
be-
like brewing your own beer.
Brewing your beer is the same thing. Like, I brew my own beer. What a horrible.
Yeah.
If you ever think to yourself, you know what I want? A beer in 10 weeks.
Yeah.
Then brewing a beer is a great
I want
way
a
to
beer,
accomplish
not now,
that.
but in 3
Yeah.
months.
Yeah, then that's a great way to accomplish your goal. Much
You're
in
just
the
not
same
into
way,
that kind of process.
if you want a pizza and you have a pizza oven, you wake up at 10 a.m. and go, know what I want? Pizza at 1.
Yeah.
And then you start the process, let the dough rise, all that crap. Well,
You will get a better pizza.
you will.
You will not get a better beer if you brew your own beer. I can guarantee that.
I've brewed multiple batches of beer. I can tell you one of them was like, hey, I did it. That's really good. Every other one I ever did, I would have to put in I would take camping and I would put them in the bottom of people's coolers. And they would get to a certain point in the night
After 8 or 10 beers, you don't mind what you're drinking?
where they'd
Yeah.
be like, oh man, we're running low on beer. And they'd be like, what's this? And then they would just crack it and you would inevitably hear,
Oh, Brendan's brew.
oh, that's average, you
Yes.
know. And some of mine were pretty bad.
Well, I get it. 20
That's-
years ago, 15 years ago, like, you didn't
Homebrew.
have a bunch. Like, it was like you had your Coors and your Miller, and that was it. Now it's like every store, and I mean, when I say every store, it can be a mom and pop store, and some of them have the greatest microbrew selection of all, but every store has a microbrew. So, like, you're not creating something that you can't get relatively cheap
Yeah.
at any convenience or grocery or whatever
Yeah.
store.
Well, no, but like I have a friend of mine who does home brewing. He's got a whole setup in his basement. He does it all the time. He's an engineer. He's really good at it. It's like likes the process.
He likes the process.
But
Yeah, there you go.
what he's doing though is he's just making a ton of it, and he's trying to copycat different beers.
So that's funny. That's what I was going to say.
So at the end of the day, he's actually saving money, but it's just taking a while. But he's like, yeah, this is like this is a.
I can't believe he's saving money.
Once you have all the equipment,
He's got
like,
everything,
There's
yeah.
an initial outlay that clearly
Yeah.
it takes a long time to recoup. But
Yeah,
then,
but just buying bottles on a
that's part of the outlay. Because like you just
Yeah, but then
reuse
you
the
gotta
bottles.
He
In
uses
theory.
He does the 2-liter bottles, like old Coke bottles.
Yeah. Well, in plastic?
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen that.
Never
That's
heard that.
Interesting.
That's how he.
I mean, I don't see why that wouldn't work. It makes
It
perfect
works.
sense. Just never.
It definitely wouldn't work because if it worked, every brewery would use that shit.
Well, no, that's how
40s,
he's.
40s
No, that's how
come in
he's.
plastic.
That's how he's storing it.
Some of them, you know, they
That's
get
a-
like an ice house or something. It's
yeah, and they suck.
sure, but I'm just saying it can be done. I just never.
I mean, most of the time he's putting them in. I mean, he's got kegerators all over the place.
Well, the problem with the storing in a 2 liters, once you open it, you have to drink it all.
yes, and I don't often want a
Yeah.
2-liter of beer.
Yeah, even though you drink more than that.
Yeah. I mean, he brings them out.
No, what koozie am I going to put on a 2-liter?
Well, that's what you'd have to refrigerate it and drink it throughout the day, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, just go to West Virginia, find a store that's got nothing but Mountain Dew, get yourself a 2-liter koozie. It's, ugh. But yeah, to Stu, to your point, the only beer I ever made that was good, I went out and I bought what they call a clone kit.
Mm-hmm.
Like I literally went to the store and I was like, I want a Fat Tire clone. And they were like, here's the exact hops and the exact amount, here's the exact barley. And then I made
But
it.
you
and I
can
was
still
like,
fuck that up.
yeah, but I didn't.
I know, but home brewing is like right for you to fuck it up.
Heck yeah. Like On said, that's why IPAs got so popular because you can cover
Yeah.
up all your mistakes by
Yep.
just adding more hops. And I was like, On, you are a genius. Go to the Answer Brew Pub.
Yep.
That place rules. So this weekend, I decided to take on one of my biggest projects to date with my new smoker.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
The number one thing that is like the true test of a pit master is a brisket. The brisket is well known as the most difficult meat to smoke, the most arduous process of all the things you can make. A couple minor errors and you blow it. You know, like it can
Which
go.
grill did you have again? Which one did you get the new one?
The Weber Smoke Fire,
Oh, that's right. Okay.
the EX6, Gen 2. You want to know the serial number? I guess I got all that stuff. It's the one with the welded auger, the one you hear so much about. Everybody knows what I'm talking about. The steeper incline and the pellet chute.
You can buy brisket, right? Like already done, that like from people who really know what they're doing.
Oh, yeah.
That sounds better.
Again, I like the process. I like the thought. I literally have spent the 10 days leading up to Easter Sunday every night. I was just watching YouTube videos of like
How to?
guys making brisket, you know, following everything. Like,
But you didn't go to the Weber website and use it?
sure.
You did?
I've gone through my app and I've looked at all that stuff. I've gone to the Weber website. I've been on Meat Church. I've got a new guy named Henry Sue.
Meat Church?
Meat Church? Let's back that
Is that
one
a
up.
dating site?
Kind of. It brings a lot of fat guys together.
Yeah, it does.
No, Meat Church is the truth. Like, I'm all in on Meat Church. It's a place in Texas that sells like all kinds of supplies for like smoking, you know, and they call themselves the Meat Church. They've got all the good rubs and all the stuff, and they're like sponsored by Traeger. But these guys will they will sit out there at like a lake house. You see the lake in the background, smoking meat, and you're just like, this is the life.
Nice.
They've made it. So yes, Meat Church. It is. I get a lot of my recipes and a lot of my tips from Meat Church.
Yeah, you do.
And
Life
they have,
tips,
like, they have
dating tips.
tons of life tips. Tons of life tips. So I've been spending a lot of time looking at like how to do the Texas crutch, you know, appropriately.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Everybody knows that.
If you're gonna break through a stall, bro,
Yeah.
the Texas crutch will help get you through that.
Yeah.
Everybody knows about the stall. These are all the problems with doing a brisket, right?
Sounds fun.
There's so many variables. And you look at these websites and they're like, I don't know, dude, a brisket would take you 8 to 24 hours. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
that's not helping.
You need the 6 to 8 version.
Well, and then they've got all these things that are like, you know, it could take an hour to an hour and a half a pound, but then you got to trim the brisket properly. And I removed probably like 2 pounds of fat from this brisket.
Aren't you supposed to cook it with the fat? Isn't that the whole point?
There's fat in it. That's the problem with the brisket, right? Is it's actually like a giant muscle. It's
Uh-huh.
2 muscles with a layer of fat in between them, and they're really crappy cuts of meat. But they have so much fat in them that if you smoke them forever and you go well beyond the point of when it should be eaten. Like you can eat meat at like what 145 to 160. That's kind of where everyone eats it. You cook this thing to like 200 because the fat then renders and goes back into the meat, and that's what makes it so juicy. And that's why like corned beef kind of just falls apart. It's because the fat goes back in. You have to get to a certain point for that to happen. So I'm doing all this research. I've got it down. 10 days of YouTube expertise for hours a night. And I'm like, I've got it. I've got it perfect. If I start smoking at 2:25 at about 4 a.m., we should eat around 4. And the plan is smoke it at 2:25, wake up at 9 a.m., crank it to 2:50.
Really start getting after it.
Do a Texas crutch, wrap it.
Yeah, of course.
Allow the heat to stay in. So I've let the bark set, then wrap it. Let the heat stay in, speed up the cook, get through the stall.
So you got up at 4 a.m. and started it?
Dude. Yes. Went to bed at 1, set an alarm for 4, came outside, put this thing on, and started rubbing it in salt and pepper and garlic 24 hours before, letting it sit. Like I had done.
Something tells me this goes hand in hand with the time you decided to put the grill together.
All of these activities
all under the cloak of darkness.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm out there with my headlamp.
Yeah.
And I'm putting the meat on, and I've got temperature probes, one in the point, one in the flat. I've done everything right. And I've
You sound like you know what you're doing. I'm not going to argue that.
There's no doubt in my mind I know what I'm doing, but knowing what you're doing and doing it are two different things. It's the difference between watching YouTube videos on like how to build an engine.
Yeah,
doing it.
Knowing how to throw a football and knowing how to shoot a basketball.
Yes, I can YouTube a brisket better than anybody in the world.
Yeah.
Dude, got up at 4, went downstairs. It was all ready to go. Took it outside. Got the smoker right to 225. Don't put it on early. Apparently, that can have detrimental impact.
How?
Okay.
But okay.
Dude, how? Exactly.
You're slow cooking.
Oh, God, you put it on 20 minutes early while it wasn't quite hot enough? I don't know, whatever.
Apparently, briskets are that finicky, though. Like they're like, oh, God forbid you do that.
You know it's real finicky when you're told it could take 8 to 24 hours.
Yeah.
That's real finicky.
Yes. That's the
real
truth.
exact science here.
I even saw a thing on Meat Church where they're like, this is how you can eat brisket on a weekday. You just set it to like 190 and do that for 24 hours. I'm like, oh, yeah, that's a great idea. And then right when you get home from work, you crank it up from your mobile app. I'm like, that's brilliant. I had way too much information swimming in my head.
I could probably go up to Mission
So,
Barbecue and
let me
get like
guess.
all the brisket my whole family could eat for
Did
like
you
$50 done.
Did we waste a whole brisket? Did it not work?
Oh, here's the worst part about that damn brisket. I decided to go to Costco because my wife has a Costco membership. So I go to Costco.
Doesn't that mean you have a Costco? Like,
apparently not. That is the whole point of this story.
How do you and your wife, like, y'all are roommates, basically. You're cohabitating and raising children.
It's got my last name on the Costco card, right?
Right.
I'm thinking this should not be.
They just changed their policy.
Oh, boy, howdy. I ran into the Costco.
I remember reading about this.
I ran into the Costco Gestapo. So I go in there, and I've got this 14 pounds of meat and a couple seltzer waters. Well, a case of seltzer.
Yeah, a couple cases.
And I'm like only buying Kirkland stuff. Like I'm supporting their brand, you know. So I go in there to get this damn thing, and my wife's like, "Don't worry about it. Take my card. Just go on up there." She's like, "They never check the cards." And I even said, "I go, but my name's not on the card." She goes, "They don't care. They literally look at the card when you walk in.
But when you pay,
they scan the barcode." She's like, "They're not gonna look at it."
Her name could be a dude's name.
Exactly. So I'm like, "This is
Mike."
my problem." So I go in there. I get my stuff. I'm all, and the lines in Costco are always a nightmare.
Yeah.
Oh, ridiculous.
Big old line. I'm waiting through it. And I'm the only
We went
schmuck.
Friday morning at like 11. We were going to go Thursday night, but we both had off Friday. We were like, let's just go Friday. It'll be less people.
I was there.
I dropped my wife off, and I went to get gas, and then she texted me and said, I'm walking back to the car. She walked in and turned around and walked out. That's how insane it was. Like, the parking lot was full.
Well, right,
packed.
but Friday was payday.
I don't know when payday is.
That may be.
It was the first.
Because it was.
Or no, it was the second.
And everybody in there was
Yeah.
outfitting an army. I mean, it was crazy.
This whole Corona thing, people don't like go to work like they used to. Like, you
No.
ride them down the road, it's just like people are out all the time now.
And I had set my day up. Like, this is how methodical I was about this. I had meeting, and then I was like, hour and a half gap, more meetings. It's like, perfect. Finished my meeting, ran to Costco. It's like 11. I'm like, I'll get in before the lunch
Get
crowd.
in, get out.
No, that's not how that went down. But so I wait in line forever. I get up there, and they're like, your card? And I hold it up to the plexiglass because there's no other way to do it, you know?
Yeah.
And the guy's trying to scan it, and he's like, let me just have the card. And I'm like, uh-oh. There's a beautiful woman's picture on this card. This is not me. And I'm thinking, I'll get away with it. Hand it under, and he's like, are you so-and-so? And I was like, no, that's my wife. And he goes, then where's your card? I was like, it's our card. She just told me to come get a piece of meat. So
Yeah.
there's the meat.
Yeah.
Tried to play it off. She wants no part of this. But I'm like, she told me to come pick up a piece of meat. And he's
So
like,
please humor me here, because my wife and I have had Costco membership for as long as I can remember. Your wife has a single person, and not is there?
she's on her parents' account.
Okay.
Her parents had a business, and then they had a business account, and that's how this all came.
Okay.
So he's like, okay, where's your card? I was like, well, I don't have a card. That's my wife's card. She told me to come pick up meat. And he goes, I don't see your wife. And I'm like, oh, this isn't going well. Like, he dropped it like that. I don't see your wife. Where is she?
Why do they care about? Like, I don't understand. Like,
I don't know.
I'm
Right.
standing here. I'm probably gonna drop. Like, everybody spends $100 every time they walk in there.
Yeah.
Like,
So then he pulls the. I'm gonna have to get the manager.
No.
And he's like, just bear with me. And all
you're
these
making
people,
friends behind you.
all these people
Yeah.
are waiting in this line with all their stuff, and they're like, you can hear the grumbling, like, what's going on? What's happening? Oh, this guy doesn't have a membership. I'm like, it's cool, thumbs
Oh,
up. It's
God.
all is well.
You're that guy. You're the guy.
Then the manager comes over. She takes the card and she's like, let me see your ID. And I was like, see, same last name. That's my wife's card. She goes, it's not transferable, sir. I'm like, okay, I'm not trying to I'm not trying to cause a stink here. Like, I'm just, can I buy that meat? You can put back the seltzer waters, but I definitely need that prime cut of beef.
Mm.
She goes off. She's gone for multiple minutes. All the people are like, what in the hell? Finally, she comes back and like louder so everyone can hear exactly what's happening.
Yeah.
Sir, these are not transferable cards. You are not on the account. And I'm like, yeah, these are the people that are on the account. Like, it's family. I'm just picking up the meat. That's not how it works, sir. I'm going to let you slide this time.
Oh.
And I'm like, okay. And she's like, but don't do this again. She's like, I've marked it in the system. I'm like, oh my gosh.
Well, at least you got it.
Well,
I
wait.
did.
Did she mark you in the system as you're the husband? You can now use the
No,
card?
she marked me in the system as don't pull this again. You get one strike, two strikes, you're out.
Yeah.
So I'm like, cool. This is a lot of fun. So then they're like, and then she looks at me. I'm holding a Discover card. And as the final jab, she goes, we don't take
Oh yeah, you got to pay.
Oh,
with,
no,
you
I
got to
knew
pay
that,
with the
yeah.
card. You got to pay with the card you went with.
So she goes, do you have cash? I go, not enough for that.
She wouldn't let you use the wife's card.
She didn't trust, I think I think she thought I was up to something.
Yeah, like you
she's like,
stolen
if
the
you
card
don't
or
have
something?
cash, then you better have a debit card.
She's like, this lady's way too good looking to be with this guy.
Yeah,
Well, that's a fact.
This is your sister, obviously. Yes, you share the same last name. but
Fine.
she's not your wife.
So then I put my debit card in, and I keep entering the stuff, and it's not working.
Oh,
it keeps
no.
getting rejected. The people are like, this is ridiculous. It's because my chip's dead. And I'm like, can I just use the magnet strip? Can I just work?
Yeah.
Not till we've tried this 3 times, sir. Like,
Oh, yeah,
everything.
yeah.
I was like, oh, my gosh.
You're lucky you made it out of there alive, dude.
Finally, I did. I finally got out. And I'd been having the best time just walking around Costco. Like, that TV is huge. Look at all the stuff. You know, like,
Buck up and get a family fucking card, dude.
I called my wife as soon as I got out. I was like, this is done.
Yeah.
We were getting a
Yeah.
family card. She goes, we go to Costco once a year. And I go, no, we did. Now
Yeah.
I'm going to Costco all the time.
Dude,
I
my
was like,
wife goes to Costco once a week. Like she goes to Kroger and then she goes to Costco. Like,
well,
if
now
you're-
that I'm a brisket guy,
well, and if you're honestly, if you're not already going to Costco, you're wasting money. Like, You buy shit. I know your family. Like, you guys should be buying certain
Yes.
shit there for sure.
There's no doubt. I saw a thing of Cheez-Its that comes on a pallet
Yes.
that costs the same amount for like the 12
Yep,
packs my wife
yep.
is buying. I was like, bro, we should be getting pallets of
but
Cheez-Its.
the Kirkland pretzels with the peanut butter in them, the little cute little squares.
Oh, you know that's all.
You have a jar of them sitting around
somewhere,
here.
but
This
yeah,
is the
you get those
Wickedly
all the
Prime.
time.
This is
Yeah,
the
see?
Amazon Prime ones.
Oh no, this is a square jar that comes from Kirkland's.
Oh, that sounds
That's-
even better. I'm in. Once the
All that
Gestapo lets
Kirkland
me
beer.
in.
You can buy toilet paper and paper towels there, cases of water.
I need
like-
to get a fake ID and get a card with my picture. I got to go through a whole thing. I'm in the system.
I wouldn't be surprised that because of the run on toilet paper, people started sharing their cards. People because Costco never ran out of toilet paper.
Well, they had me dead to rights. They had me dead to rights. But that's neither here nor there. That was a little sidebar. So I've got this brisket dialed in, right? Like I know everything. And in my mind, the calculation is 4 a.m. We're totally perfect. I wake up at 9
So
a.m.
you're going 12 hours.
Yeah,
4
I'm
to
doing,
4.
I'm doing 12 hours, but I got a technique. I'm going from 225 to 250 and then to a 275. So I'm going to push it through. I'm running multiple people's ideas and recipes. I've got it planned down to the minute when the switches happen. And I'll be damned if I didn't wake up and the flat and the point are within like 2 degrees of each other. We're at 160, and my whole plan was wake up around 9, wrap it at 165. Perfection. We've just broken through the stall. We'll ride this out. We're all eating at 4. Easter's gonna be the
Easter miracle.
Easter's gonna be the greatest thing ever. Everyone's gonna eat 14 pounds of brisket.
Something
Can't go
tells
wrong.
me he ordered a pizza.
So
Sounding like that.
I'll be damned if everything doesn't go spot on at like noon. It's at the perfect temp to wrap. 165. It did take a little long, but that's the stall. I was expecting that. Got up, had my coffee, and it was like a little before noon. I was like, perfect. I'm going to wrap it in butcher paper because butcher paper lets it breathe better than
Right.
tin foil. That's a better Texas crutch. My bark's going to be perfect. I wrap this bad boy up. So I take it off the grill, wrap it up, take it back out, put it in, stick the probes back in. I've lost 15 degrees on the meat. And however long it took me to wrap it, I'm like, what just happened? That's not supposed to happen.
Yeah.
Ouch.
That 15 degrees to get back by 4 o'clock, I was back where I was at like 11 o'clock.
Oh, wow.
It was heartbreaking.
Sounds like
And-
my golf cart charging the bottle.
Yes. So I'm sitting there and the wife's like, when should I start the mac and cheese? And I'm like, when I pull it off for the hour that it has to rest.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we're good. And I'm like, it's okay. I've built in buffer time. We can eat as late as 6, 7. It's
Yeah.
fine. And she's like, if we're eating by 7, that's fine. And I'm like, thank you for being so understanding. Brisket is a finicky piece of meat. Fuck me, man.
Did you crank the heat, though?
Did everything.
And it still wouldn't. I don't understand if you crank it to 250, why it would take that long for it to jump up.
The bark.
The stall itself, the whole point of the stall, this is going to get a little technical. When the fat starts to render into the meat, it creates like an evaporation situation. And as it's going in, that keeps the temperature right where it is because it's cooling it off as the fat goes back into the meat. And so you have to get all that fat to render back in, and then it can start climbing again. And that process can take hours. So it's known as the stall. It just sits at the same temp, but a lot's happening. That's the stuff you need to happen to make it be juicy and tender.
Right.
So I'm going through this process, and it's just taking forever and forever. And now I'm starting to get pissed off because
Yeah.
like I've wrapped it, I've cranked the heat, everything was going, and then it all went sideways. So now my wife's like, "You want a Bloody Mary?" I'm like, "Mm-hmm, I do."
Yeah.
So now I'm just drinking. I'm watching the Cubs game, drinking. I'm just like watching the Caps and the Cubs. So I'm like happy.
Are
and
you having
wonders
guests over?
that- No,
Okay.
I have more meat.
I was going to say that's a huge piece of meat for you and
Yeah, but at least you didn't have family over here like twiddling their fucking thumbs waiting on you.
yeah.
But I had 2 kids who've been hearing me talk and have watched YouTube videos with me for 10 days.
They
And
should
they're-
be used to being disappointed by you.
Dude, for a fact, unfortunately, this is becoming commonplace in this house.
Damn.
So finally, it was about like 6:30, and I looked at the wife and I was like, "It's not going to be ready. I can't. It's going to take hours from this point still, unfortunately."
Yeah.
So my wife's like, "Well, I'll just make the sides." We ate mac and cheese, green beans, and rolls for Easter dinner.
Hey, you got to eat.
We did, and I
Yeah.
ate so much mac and cheese. And then they were making fun of me because I'm like half in a bag at this point, and like I'm supposed to say grace. And so I'm saying grace, and I, in my mind, right, I thought this was a very salient point that should be discussed during grace, was that the similarities between waiting on Jesus to rise and waiting on a brisket.
I don't know. That's a
I have
stretch.
so many questions here. Like, is your family that religious? Like,
I'm the religious one. I'm the only religious one. Like in the
you're
the
not
family.
religious.
No, but I'm spiritual and I believe in God. And I pray
Yeah.
every night. So I like to on these days make sure that they're aware that it's not about a bunny. You know, for me.
Oh, sure.
So I'm doing grace, and I'm pontificating on how, you know, sometimes when things are at their bleakest,
Oh my gosh,
and you're
dude.
waiting on a brisket, at least you know that when the brisket finally renders,
Girls, I should have told you dinner's will be ready in 3 days.
it'll be. And I was like, when the temperature will rise, much like Jesus.
You'll
And
you'll
and-
open that smoker and it won't be there. You'll just be shocked.
Yeah.
And so I realize now that it might have been sacrificed, but I really, at the moment, I was like, this is a really good point. Like I'm showing them that sometimes you have to wait and you just have to believe.
When you do make it to heaven and the gates open, there's going to be this brisket.
Yeah,
We're
Dad,
This is awesome.
Yeah, St. Peter's like, you're the only one. You're the only one who ever understood.
Dad half in the bag relating brisket to
Yeah.
resurrection.
I'd like to quote Meat Church.
Oh gosh, dude.
Yeah, I was mentally wrecked.
You need to write that down on the Meats Church chat app or whatever.
Yeah,
Say,
no
hey,
doubt. They'd be like, this guy gets it. But it was.
Do I even want to ask if and when the thing was done?
Oh yeah. So my wife went to bed after dinner, and then my two daughters were like, we're gonna wait up with you, Dad. Like we're gonna wait for this thing. And I'm like,
Because it's spring break, they don't have to go to
yeah.
bed.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I love you girls. So we watched the entire movie of Cabin Boy, classic by Chris Elliott.
Yeah.
We watched the entire movie of Cabin Boy. It's still not done. Then it's finally done about 9:00. Like the temperature's where I need it. So I get to pull it. Now I've got it in a cooler, wrapped up in the house.
But it's got to rest for an hour, you said.
Got to wait for an hour. And an hour is the minimum wait you can do. My one daughter craps out at 9:30. My other daughter forces me to watch YouTube videos on the 12 most common brisket mistakes.
Oh, God.
She's got a sense of humor.
Rubbing it in your nose.
I can respect her. So we're watching the 12 common brisket mistakes. She's like, tell me how many you made. And I'm like, I didn't make a single one of these mistakes. Like, not one. It just stalled.
So where'd
too
it go
long.
wrong?
It just, sometimes they take forever. But that temperature.
His wrapping technique.
Wrapping technique was too long. I think that is why it dropped in
Okay.
time. I'll be damned if at 10:00, my one daughter's like, I'm waiting for you. And she doesn't eat much. And she's like, let's try the brisket. I'm like, let's do it. So 10:00 last night, I'm carving the most juicy, perfect brisket.
Did it turn out well?
Dude, she and I had two of the single greatest slices of brisket. But we were so full on mac and cheese.
Yeah.
Because we'd had a mac and cheese contest, see who could eat the most. Mistake.
Carb loading.
Yeah, so we're carb loaded up. Dude, this brisket came out perfect. It just came out 6 hours later
Wow.
than we anticipated. So no one else got to have it. So I've got,
But you can still eat the next
yeah, but it's
day.
never as good. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Once
in
it
the-
once it cools down, you got to keep it refrigerated. It's not quite the same.
It's not the same because in that moment, everything's hot and juicy and perfect.
Yeah.
I'll be damned, dude. This is the best brisket I've ever tasted. Like we cut it and we ate it, and even my daughter
That
is not a
can't be
big.
true.
It was in the moment.
Yeah, well, obviously.
It was in the moment, and she's like, Dad, this is phenomenal. Like this is so good. And I was like, let's try the burn ends. Let's get down to the other end. So we're cutting those up. We're eating them. It was really, really good. It was just I just missed half the family.
Yeah.
They never got to taste it. And then unfortunately today, like now I have.
How many pounds of brisket was it?
When I bought it, it was like just shy of 14, and
Now it's
I trimmed it down to like 11.
probably
What it
got
cooked
about-
down to.
I don't know. I didn't weigh
Yeah,
it
you
at
didn't
that
weigh
point.
it.
I was pretty frustrated with the entire situation. I'd been praying. And so we carved it. It was phenomenal. But then, like, now I have, I probably got at least 12 pounds of brisket that has to be eaten
Yeah.
in the next, 4 days. So I've been eating so much brisket.
I'll take some off your
Yeah,
hands.
let's just divvy it up.
Yeah, there's brisket.
So when's your next go?
Well, that's the thing. It didn't make me want to quit. Much like a kid.
It makes me never even want to try. Just hearing that story.
Like Joe the chef is probably like screaming into the microphone, or into his headphones. But now I'm like high school me trying to play basketball.
You got to try it one more time.
I may be riding that bench, but I know there's a good half in me somewhere down the road. So I'm going to keep trying. I think I might run it back. I can't do it this weekend because I will be eating brisket all week long.
Yeah.
But
take a couple weeks off.
But in a couple weeks, I'm going to get my own Costco card. I'm going to go get another brisket. And I'm going to do it.
So all you got to do is start it at 10 p.m.
Oh, no. Lesson learned. Don't go to bed. My fatal flaw was that I always stay up late anyway. I should have just done it at night.
Let it sit.
I should have just done it at 1 a.m. And not gone with the 225, gone with the full on 250.
Yeah.
Knowing that it's going to stall there for a while. The bark will set. It'll be perfect.
I just don't know. You doing anything at 1 a.m. just doesn't seem to
sounds
come
like a
out.
bad idea.
90% of what I do is at 1 a.m.
Start it at 8 p.m. and just get up and then before you go to bed, you can mess with it at 1 or 2 and then go to sleep from 2 to 8 and then get back up and mess with it.
That's the other way to do it. Get up and wrap it and let it just
Yeah.
stall while I sleep. There's so many things that I've learned. And then the next brisket will be totally different.
Yeah.
And it'll just burn it into a hockey puck. It was heartbreaking. Man. I was trying to feed the family. I was trying to do this big meal.
Yeah.
And it was not my go. But my youngest, meat church shirts. Nice.
Nice.
See, he gets it. Stu gets it.
This place is ridiculous.
Once you get down in the meat church rabbit hole, you will be a meat church guy.
Be careful where you wear that shirt.
Yeah, meat church outdoor.
You wear it in Texas, they know.
Yeah.
They know. Yeah.
Wear it around the fan, you might get a few callers.
Cat calls. You know what? I'll take either at this point.
Right.
Well, now we know what you're wearing for Easter on parade.
Yeah, just my meat church
Meat
gear.
church.
I got to be home in 14 hours. I have a brisket on. Unbelievable. But the smoker performed admirably.
People love it, man. People love that shit. I'm so cautious. I don't know anything about cooking, so it just sounds like a nightmare to me.
I like a good rockfish or salmon smoked out. I mean, I like brisket. I like the burnt ends.
Yeah, I've got
That's
a
my
whole.
I love all that shit, but I mean, you can as long as you can go up and buy it somewhere pretty quick and easy. I'm just probably gonna go that route.
I don't know. But that I know it's your first try, but that sense of accomplishment when you actually get it done the first time is gonna be like
For sure.
It's always
The sense of accomplishment was only outmatched by the sense of disappointment.
which was
what I mean?
outmatched by your grace.
Yeah, I mean, I'm embarrassed even telling that part of the story. None of the other parts embarrass me, but in the moment, I really was like, "This is brilliant." I've come up with a way to tie it to our daily situation here,
It's Easter.
Makes total sense.
and they started laughing. I'm like, "You don't laugh during grace," but then I'm like,
Yeah.
"Well, you probably shouldn't bring up your brisket during
Yeah.
grace either." So I'll take that one on the chin.
Yeah, God bless the chef.
We've all made,
Hallelujah! Holy shit! Where's the Tylenol? Yeah.
we've all made poor decisions here at Grace. Let's just eat our mac and cheese and go to bed.
Eat our mac and cheese and go to bed.
Oh, please forgive me.
Oh, I felt so. So we did the typical rice, green beans, and a spiral ham with pineapple sauce. That's what we did for Easter. Pretty much. My
Is
mom
that
makes it all the
typical?
time.
Maybe
No,
I
no.
don't-
Yeah.
For
Ham.
a lot
and
of ham
deviled
is-
eggs and
yeah.
such.
Rice.
confetti rice. It's like
Huh?
it's different. My mom makes it. This is what my mom's made for
Is
every
this
Easter for as
like
long.
a really small piece of rice or something? What's a confetti
As
rice?
opposed to
It's the
large
way
rice.
it's regular white rice. It's just the way it's made with lots.
Confetti, glitter.
Yeah.
So it's that's what she calls it, but it's got like little
After
bits of-
Easter, we poop glitter for
yeah,
a week.
it's got a little bit, red tomatoes and some peppers. It's like red and green, kind of. That's why it looks
Oh, yeah,
like
it's like,
confetti.
okay, I got you.
So, anyways, I felt so bad for my oldest daughter because we had set plans for Easter dinner to start like afternoon, 4:00. Have the whole big thing.
Yeah, you can't bank on those times.
And she and her boyfriend were real troopers because they went to her boyfriend's house for lunch after church, and his mom had done the exact same meal. So they ate.
Oh no!
so her and her boyfriend show up at the house and like.
And dang it!
Yeah,
That's how not religious I am. I didn't know there was like a typical meal for.
It's ham usually. Easter ham.
But they were like 2 hours.
Ham's good all the time. There's Christmas ham. There's Thanksgiving ham. Like ham's ham. Ham's always good.
Yeah, we did Easter brisket. It's actually you mostly eat it the day after.
Day after.
Easter.
The day after. Yeah, because
checks out.
But they did the salt cured ham, and we had the spiral pineapple one.
There, they got to try something different.
Yeah, they were like, oh, we're so stuffed. We
All
just ate
hams are
2
good.
hours ago.
I actually offered to smoke
Ham's
a
better
ham.
than turkey.
I was like, we should smoke a ham for Easter. My wife's like, you hate ham, and I was like,
How do you hate ham? Ham is amazing.
truth be told, I got really, really sick in college, and I'd eaten a ham sub, and then I got super sick that night. They ended up thinking I had spinal meningitis. It turns out I'd just been pledging.
It happens.
Yeah, it literally does. It's just called pledge disease.
But in your head, you've related back to that ham sub.
I threw up ham for like all night long.
You've thrown up beer and other alcohol, right?
Yep, there was no alcohol involved.
I know,
in
but I'm
this.
saying
This was true.
that
Just-
doesn't prevent you from drinking.
I'll never drink Bombay Sapphire gin
Oh, yeah.
again. Like there's certain things that you swear off, and unfortunately for me, it was so much ham.
Well,
Now,
I threw up Goldschlager in high school, and I never drank it for years. But I mean, I'm back to drinking cinnamon drinks.
yeah,
again.
and I've actually gotten to the point where I can eat.
Yeah.
Like I eat ham sandwich. Like if it's mixed, I don't like. But if I put enough mustard on it, I'm like, all right, this is fine.
Yeah.
Swiss, that helps.
Yeah,
So I've gotten to that point, but
a
my
honey
wife-
baked ham is freaking amazing.
well, my wife remembers
Especially
that I
for-
had complained about it when we first met. Now
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
since
Yeah.
grown, but she was like, you don't even like ham, and I'm like, I know I got a thing, but I just feel like I should smoke a ham.
yeah,
But
It's
she
funny
was
how
like,
that happened because I think I was like in 4th grade, had a bad hot dog, threw up all evening, and it hardly wasn't until I was a senior, maybe even college,
had
where
another
I had,
hot
a
dog.
had another hot
Yeah.
dog.
Yeah,
It's like,
you just
ugh.
kind of
well, I haven't
develop.
had Taco Bell in 10, 12 years probably.
There you go.
Yeah, it just kind of it just
I didn't even puke.
the thought of it just makes
Yeah.
you go, I don't know, that doesn't sound great to me.
Yeah,
Yeah.
It sounds like vomiting.
To your point, I still haven't had Jell-O since I pledged.
Oh, I can relate. But I've had some Jell-O. But
I can't do it. I just can't.
Jello. I mean, the only time I've ever had Jello as an adult is in a Jello shot. I mean, why? If you're gonna eat a dessert, why eat Jello? There's so many better desserts. Like Jello's
So
for
unfortunately,
children.
they made Jell-O shots in the ice tray, and one of our brothers, as I was a pledge, put Epicac over top of it.
Well, yeah.
gosh, for real?
Yeah, so it was vodka Jell-O shooters with a straw, but there was a little bit of Epicac, and me and my class just lost
enough.
So you should
Oh.
hate Epicat.
it. Well, that's,
yeah. That's exactly it. You know what makes me throw up? That stuff that makes you throw up.
he hates these cans.
Every time I have it.
You know you can't get Ipecac.
No, they don't sell it anymore.
No, they don't sell it
No,
anymore.
but this was
You literally can't get it because I ran up my daughter when she was really young. She just drank a bottle of hand sanitizer.
Nice.
Oh.
Like she just found some hand sanitizer and drank it.
Was it flavored?
No, she just found like a little thing of hand sanitizer and just started drinking it. And I come in the room and I'm like, ah!
Yeah.
She drank hand sanitizer. And like as a new parent, like
Yeah, you're like freaking
the
out.
sky is falling, you
Yeah.
know?
poison control.
Yeah, and so I called poison control, and they're like, "Oh, just go to CVS. Like they'll know what to do. She should be fine, unless she starts acting funny." And I'm like, "I don't have time to wait for that kind
Gonna
of
be
crap."
drunk.
Dude, she honestly was. I remember it was so funny. Now it's funny.
Oh.
She drank the hand sanitizer, and about 15
started
minutes
fighting
later,
you?
no, she started singing.
Oh, nice.
Just singing, da, 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 da,
Happy
like
drunk.
dancing and
That's
singing.
good.
But then she started crying,
Oh,
Oh,
then
no.
the sad
and then
drunk.
she started singing.
Oh, back to happy.
And then she started
Nice.
crying, and I was like, "Oh, honey,
That's
she
a
is."
preview.
I was like, "Honey, she's hammered.
Yeah, she's
Like she's highs and lows."
not gonna be fun.
So I ran up to the store and I was like, I need Ipecac stat. And they're like, we don't carry Ipecac anymore. And I'm like,
And
yes,
why are you
do."
saying stat? Are you a doctor?
Yeah, you know.
Shut up. Don't question me. I know what I'm doing.
I was like, well, what am I supposed to do? Like, my daughter just drank a bunch of hand sanitizer. Like, I need to get it out of her. And they were like, well, now we have activated charcoal, like tablets, and it'll just sort it out. And I was like, that's brilliant. That's much better than puking all over the place.
Yeah.
So I just gave her a bunch of activated charcoal stuff. And
Ties
sure
it back
enough,
to the brisket
sober
somehow.
her up.
yeah, she stopped singing and crying.
Nice.
How'd you tie that story back to the brisket? Charcoal.
You said Ipecac. Oh, yeah. Look at that. Stu, I didn't even know what I'd done.
There was no charcoal involved with the brisket.
Wood pellets.
That's right.
Smoke
yeah, that's
Master's
true.
Blend.
Smoke-
Over there. It's the good stuff.
The best.
Only the best.
Only the best.
The only problem with it is it takes quite
If you
a
want
while.
Brendan's brisket,
Come
it's got
over
a
next
6
week.
week lead time.
That, unfortunately, if I tell you to
Oh,
come
and you
over,
got Spot Brisket because if you haven't heard, he can't purchase anymore.
oh yeah, no, yeah, that would be super helpful if you could drop it off 24 hours before,
Yeah.
because I need to start rubbing it down and letting the salt get in there.
If anybody goes into Costco in the next week or so after hearing this, please let us know if you see Brendan's picture on the sidewall.
I'm scared to go back in there. I might get red tag just knowing him.
Yeah. Excuse me, Troy. Have you ever heard of Inside the Pallet House? No, never. No. That's not me.
Just get cuffed and stuffed and hauled out the back.
I am on the Costco short
yeah,
list
man.
of just people they don't trust. Sorry, sir, you're going to have to pay cash. Your credit's no good.
I would have lost my shit because I've been like, what do you think I'm doing here? Like, I'm buying a piece of meat and some seltzer waters. Like, what's the end game? Like, I'm really taking you guys for a ride here?
Yeah.
Like, I didn't buy the most expensive TV or laptop and a
I was
diamond
the
ring and a
only-
watch.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
Yeah, I was the only
Yeah.
dude with two things in their cart.
Yeah.
Everyone else is stacked to the gills.
Here's the goal. Here's how my wife and I get rich. She gets a Costco membership.
You know what?
I use it. Buy 2 things. Then we're rich. Wait, what?
They flagged you because you didn't buy enough stuff.
Yeah, hey, check this guy out. He's running a scam.
He's kind of
He's
How
under
did he get-
$100. Get him out of here.
This guy doesn't belong here. Wait, turns out he doesn't belong here.
Speaking of pizza, they used to have a pretty good pizza. That little deli
Speaking
thing.
of pizza. They did.
In
Actually, that was
Costco.
their good deal.
Yeah.
And you get that foot-long hot dog.
Yeah.
Look at that. I could disappoint both of you. Stu gets a hot dog. Troy, you get pizza.
I actually like their food there. They have decent food for the price.
I'll be in the back getting accosted by the security.
Body cavity. Let's go.
Everybody gets what they don't want. Everybody wins.
Oh. Did he just get hit in the head?
Yeah, my favorite player just got drilled.
Cubs game.
Good.
Yeah, letting you guys in behind the scenes.
Mm.
Ugh. All right, he's up. He's
Well-
up.
He's vertical.
Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. I had a bunch of topics. We actually didn't get to them. I didn't realize.
We'll get to them
that-
later.
I didn't realize the meat church story was gonna
That was quite good.
chew up the last 45 minutes of it. I'd forgotten I'd been kicked out of Costco almost, and that life is funny like
We'll
that.
get to them next week.
Yeah, thank goodness.
There's always next week.
That's always
Yeah.
next week.
We absolutely will. We've been doing this for 17 years.
That's
In
a
dog
short.
years.
That's what it feels like sometimes, right?
For
thank,
sure.
Thank you guys so much for tuning in this week. We do appreciate the support. If you get a chance to head on over to our Facebook page, give us a like. That's always appreciated. You know what? That one's appreciated. I'm back.
There you go.
Ely's not here. I can speak in my native tongue.
I'd tell you to go rate and review, but you fucks don't listen, so I'm giving up on it.
Troy is back.
No.
Look at this. Nice.
I'm giving
No
up.
way.
I'm giving up.
I'm glad to see Angry Troy is back. I like Angry Troy.
It's ridiculous. That's all I ask, and can't happen.
If you want to send us, you got too much discretionary money, you want to send some to us, you can always do so on our Venmo.
We're looking to buy Victoria Pizza.
Yeah. And
Yes.
stew some citrus.
Hey, what's that? What's that Venmo?
At Inside the Pout House on Venmo.
There it is. I will never remember
I
that
know.
for whatever reason.
Also, don't forget to use our new discount code at Nectar Sunglasses, Bowflex.
Bowflex.
20% off your entire order. Check them out.
Bowflex.
Bowflex.
Ridiculous.
Was going to be Peloton, but it just didn't work out.
Well, no, I don't want to get my heart rate up.
Oh.
God forbid. Have a stroke. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We'll be talking to you guys next week. Cheers.
Cheers.
Peace out.
That was a pretty good podcast, don't you think? Oh, and thanks to Chris and Sam for providing me a way to get drunk listening to your show every week by saying your kid's name every single time.
Are you doing the Teach Me Babe drinking game?
I can't because I'd be dead. But it's funny because they call it out every time. They're like, drink Troy, and I gotta love it.
You know what I recommend? Hand sanitizer.
Yeah. I'll cry. I'll sing. I'll cry. I'll sing. But my hands and mouth will be clean.
Oh, yeah. And that is the ultimate goal.
Yeah.
And you'll have a clean buttle.
My whole guts. Go listen to Teach Me, Babe.
It's good for the gut biome. Next week's episode on Teach Me Babe is about gut biome. Hey, Troy, we're not supposed to talk through the end part. This is where it fades out.
Ooh, it's my first time doing this.
I get it. We'll try it again next week.
We'll do better.